and Blue Yoshi tied for a second. They're both winners for second place. Let's
Yeah.
go. All right, and it looks like we are going to be back here. If you guys are just now rejoining us, Alpine has closed out the 4-0 victory over Spence and Carmel Sheba, advancing to round 2 of our Mario Kart 8 Deluxe tournament here at Furry Weekend Atlanta 2025.
It was well earned. I won't say that the other two Yoshis didn't give them a hard time.
Oh, no,
there was
they definitely
lots
fought
of
for
turnover and change.
They definitely fought for that, too. They didn't make it easy, but at the end of the day, Light Blue Yoshi was just in front and was able to get things going.
Yeah, and that's the kind of stuff that makes it still exciting, is that even if there's someone who's pulling ahead or maintaining a lead or getting a lot of points, there's still lots of opportunity for something interesting to happen. We were still at the edge of our seats.
Yeah, very. It was very entertaining. Even though Alpine did win all 4 races, it was a lot closer than it definitely looked.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as we're gearing up here, I believe that was the last match of our round 1, which means that the rest of the tournament we will be progressing to our round 2 stage, which means that from here on out, all the winners from the initial round will be able to advance onto round 2. And moving forward from there, it's still going to be a repair into groups of 4. And then the winner from those will advance once again to the 3rd round. And we'll go from there until we have a final 4, and that will be a race off for our champion.
And then we might be shouting. By
True.
then, I don't have to save my voice anymore. Throughout this entire con, I was pantomiming some yells at some concerts to be part of the culture, but save my voice. By the time the final round comes along, we can be having some fun.
Yeah, no, it's going to be good, especially if we see a lot of different, kart combinations. That's what I'm still waiting for.
We might see fewer kart combinations as time goes on, because
that makes sense.
Who are playing toward the meta might start narrowing toward things that they know work, right?
No, that's for sure. Especially as we move over to the higher level players, we are going to see more of a progression for, what's the word for it? A lot more condensed of a meta as we progress. So we're probably going to see Waluigi Wiggler. Probably going to see Yoshi.
I know that his day has passed, but he's always worth seeing.
Look, Waluigi Wiggler is...
It's fun to say.
Waluigi Wiggler is the Funky Kong Flame Rider of our time.
The thing is, it's Yoshi now.
Is it Yoshi?
Yeah, because the meta did change with an update.
The most recent update that came out at the end of the booster course, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So
you have to quote me on that, remember?
You have to quote Silver on everything they say this weekend.
Yeah. If you're super mad, then let me know.
Blame Silver. It's all their fault.
I'll say everything wrong, and you can say everything right. We can have a heel thing going if we want to.
I'll just say everything that's correct, and you'll say everything incorrectly, but we'll still just say that everything you're saying is true.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Awesome. That works for me.
Keep an eye out for who's the reliable narrator. Pay attention. Makes sense. It might change.
That makes sense. But in general, though, what are, I guess, the top kart combinations that we can look out for moving into these higher stage rounds that are going to be a lot more competitive, a lot more serious, and a lot more meta-defining around what we're going to see as we progress towards this top cut?
As far as I'm aware, Teddy Buggy is kind of the move right now.
Teddy Buggy?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. And quote me on that. Because and the roller wheels as well, I believe,
roller wheels have always
been
been good.
high-speed build. And high-speed builds are what you want because you don't want to be crashing.
Yeah.
So ideally, you don't need a ton of acceleration because you're not getting hit all that much because you're a really good player, right? Or you could be like me and keep rocking some inside drifting because you're loyal and you want to show people what it can do.
That's fair. That's fair.
Either way, I think we're going to keep seeing a lot of Yoshi. Yoshi's really the move lately.
That makes sense. Especially at this type of an event, we can expect a lot more Yoshi for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely surprised we haven't seen as much Bowser.
I don't know if he's that good.
I just know that people like Bowser.
I like Bowser too. Bowser fans sound off.
At the Smash tournament the other day, there was so much Bowser.
There's so much Bowser. Maybe that was his time to shine. Maybe that was his time to shine.
That's fair. That's fair.
He could be taking care of all those kids that are racing around.
That's fair. So I know you said that the teddy bear cart.
Yeah, the teddy buggy.
Are there any other ones to look out for outside of that?
That's a great question. I know that there are some. There are a few meta bikes as well. There are outside drifting bikes that I won't be able to name out loud because there are like a few of them that are
Yeah.
pretty good that
So
we
no-
can keep an eye out for. And I can point them out when I see them.
So no, the teddy bear card, that counts as an ATV, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
In this game? Okay.
And those tend to be pretty good. I think
are
the
there
Wiggler was
any-
ATV as well.
Are there any cart combinations that are good right now? Or are
It's-
ATVs plus bikes still the best way to go?
It's as long as you're putting the roller wheels on it, that's usually your best move.
Here's a real question.
You can make a lot of things work in this game, but if you're talking pure meta, then it's pretty narrow. Like, I wish I could tell you more.
Do you go red roller or Azure roller?
It doesn't matter. Can you believe that? They're the exact same stats. I like Azure Roller better. I like
That's
saying the
fair.
word Azure as well.
That makes sense. No, the Azure roller I think is like the swag wheels,
Yeah.
and the roller are like the sweaty wheels. You have your try hard
that
wheels,
makes sense to me.
and then you have your I'm gonna swag out my cart wheels. I played this game a lot. I have the blue roller tires.
That's really funny. But a lot of what excites me about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is choosing how to manage your race, right?
Yeah.
Because there are a few meta cards, and they'll keep changing with updates, and maybe they won't change with updates anymore because there's a new Mario Kart coming. We might be set right where we are. But at the same time, I think it's most interesting that even with a bad combination, you can get pretty far if your item management is really good.
That's true.
But it's harder to predict in a situation like this where there's only 4 racers at a time. Normally in a 12-player race, it's sort of boiled down to a science on what you're going to see in each position, each spot, what you might expect, what you might wait for, what you're protecting against, at what time they'll show up in the race, stuff like that. So in a situation like this, we're seeing a lot more of exciting item play and management because they have to be on their toes. There's nothing to expect anymore unless you practice a lot of 4-player, no
Which
CPU.
I don't think a lot of people play a lot of 4-player specifically, so the item pool is definitely going to affect a lot.
So it feels like a real test of skill to be able to
Yeah.
manage yourself in an environment
Definitely.
that is rare.
And it looks like our players are getting set up here as we progress into our first match in our round 2 heat. Let's see what we got, man. I'm excited to see what we got here.
Let's see. Boom. We got, no, I wanted to swag out. I wanted to see if I could hit that.
I respect it.
I might even try again later.
You're just a little slow, a little slow on that.
My spell
But
was delayed.
we see the return of Alpine, who we saw on stream
Oh, ready to go
just
already.
recently in our last wave. So we know we are going to see Yoshi there. I don't know who else the rest of the players have chosen, though.
Taking a look at course selection, no one has actually ventured into the DLC lands yet.
Not yet, not
as
yet.
far as I can tell.
I want to see some Dragon Driftway.
I love Dragon Driftway.
I love
It's
Dragon
tough,
Driftway.
But I love Dragon Driftway.
It's a fun course.
I'm a Lakitu player as well. I play Lakitu and I play Tanuki Mario, depending on what weight class I want that day. And I know that like new wave of Lakitu aesthetic is kind of like this Dragon Driftway vibe, and I love it.
Yeah. Oh, I love this. They're bringing back a classic here. We're going to DS TikTok Clock.
This is such a good track.
Here we go. We see the teddy bear up in the top right. Teddy bear in the bottom left as well. Oh no, that's not. Is that the?
I
the
think
beetle?
that is one of these meta
No, that's the
bikes.
beetle. That's
No,
the
that's
Animal
a
Crossing
pretty
beetle.
silly card combination. This one might be for the vibes. So the fact that they've already won one of these matches means that maybe they're proving that item management could be the way, because I don't think this is meta.
Yeah, and then we see Yoshi on the Yoshi bike as well in that top left corner with stars. So we see a lot of interesting combinations here. Not all one and the same, but there is one consistent factor across 3 of these racers with the roller tires, I believe.
I think that's what I'm seeing
No,
for 2 of them.
I don't know if Star has roller tires.
No, I think those are maybe even standard.
Yeah, I see Osh with, is that the
Monster tires?
the monster tires? Let's go.
That's hype. on a track with no off-road as well.
But they probably didn't pick this one, so it's fine. They're going to go to,
They're going to go to their Animal Crossing village later. They're going to drive around.
no, they're going to
have
go
a
to
nice
Hyrule
day.
Castle.
Ooh, that'd be hype. That'd be hype.
If somebody goes Hyrule Castle and takes a shortcut,
we're
The puzzle shortcut?
We're sharing a look. We're excited. That would be so fun.
that would be sick. All right, but as we go into the lap 2 for this first race, Star seemed to kind of pull away there. Rexy Delta had a pretty decent lead towards the beginning of this race, but right now, Star is kind of pulling away from the pack as a whole right now. Alpine's still in third. So
Especially with some defense in first place as well. And again, we're not seeing a ton of aggressive attacking items right this second. People are ready for their next set of boxes. They're looking for what they can send Star's way.
Yeah, no, Stars definitely has at least one defensive item right now. They could waste it and save the coin if they want to for a boo, but
even the connotation of the word waste, like
Yeah.
you might be wanting to hold on to that. Now there's a little pause briefing, see if we can get in people's head. Probably a mistake, right? We're seeing Star re-roll to hold on to a coin item, use it right away, make sure they're maxed out at 10, and have a Bob Bomb now to see if they can protect against what Rexy sent coming their way. They look behind them. They successfully use the Bob Bomb to stop that red shell and lock down first place. Rexy Delta getting second. Keeping an eye on who gets third and fourth. It's looking like Osh right now, unless Alpine has a crazy snipe in them. It's locked exactly as is. We have Star in first, Rexy Delta in second. Shout out Birdo. I don't see many Birdo players.
Yeah.
Birdo's awesome.
Yeah, Birdo's
Trans icon.
Birdo's pretty cool. Birdo's pretty cool. Birdo's like a staple character since Double Dash. So it's pretty cool to see Birdo. Like, it's crazy that it took them, like, DLC.
Yeah, Birdo was late.
Yeah,
Birdo showed up
Birdo
late.
came in way too late. You know what still pisses me off about this
Oh,
game?
here's some DLC.
We don't have Diddy Kong. Why do we not have Diddy Kong?
He's not in World either yet. They hate him.
He's going to be DLC. He's going to be DLC.
Now, here's the 3DS Rainbow Road you were talking about, which is a beautiful, beautiful track.
I love this track.
Each lap is different because it is one long course, so it's broken up into 3 different sections.
Section races in Mario Kart changed map design forever.
Yeah, I completely agree. Even, again, like the Star Cup that I was referencing earlier, having Mount Wario in it is one of the most iconic and fun tracks, I think, in the game. And it's just one long track where there's different stuff going on constantly. So this should be a fun one to watch, but it also means more to know how to drive. Definitely,
for sure. Just in general, though, like, this track has a lot to it. Like, this first section takes...
Osh.
Oh, no, Osh, unfortunately, falling off the track. Unfortunately, the rainbow does not count as off-road. So
we're going to count that as looking for some back-of-the-pack items.
Yeah.
That's what I call it. Whenever I fall, I'm like, well, I'm bagging. I'm bagging.
Now, granted, we will see some potential off-roading from Osh once we get to the moon section, potentially. But outside of that, right now, we're kind of just chilling for the most part.
Just a beautiful drive to study and relax to.
Yeah.
We're seeing Rexy Delta at the front holding onto a green shell for protection, and we're, again, not seeing too many aggressive items from the back right now. Most people just trying to manage staying on that course successfully. Alpine is using an invincibility star to match the road, of course. It's very trendy, very fresh. And going into another set of item boxes, Star is holding on to some offensive items as well. Well, offensive items. These items are not offensive.
Yeah, overall, Yoshi with the boomerang right now, not really sure what that can do. Birdo with the bomb, decent defensive item, but can be a little dangerous if you don't place it properly. But
I think
Rexy,
if you hold it behind you and it pops, someone hits you with it, then I don't think it blows you up. But I would have to see it to believe it, because I think I might have just gotten lucky once and remembered it forever. Going for the gliding section is useful for these air boosters.
Yeah.
I don't know which is faster. I think either is fine here. But we haven't seen anyone pull out any expressly crazy glider tricks either. But no motion gliders, thank God.
Good boomerang snipe there from Star, but unfortunately was not able to get ahead because it did not get rid of Rexy's defensive item here. And Rexy,
that was so close.
Photo finish there. Star was right behind them the entire time.
That was extremely tight.
That was
exciting.
so
We saw
close.
a bit of an item mess for a second as people kind of reshuffled their placements.
Yeah.
And then being able to hold on to that first place looked tough.
Yeah. And also, Rexy and Star trading first and second place there within those first 2 tracks. So right now, we're going to see another close fight for that first place right now going into the rest of this series.
Love to see it. We keep it interesting. Keeping an eye out for this track. I love squeaky clean sprint.
Don't know if I played on this track.
See how you can end up dodging them just by mistake?
I played on Daisy Cruiser.
This
I don't
is
know
an
if I
8
played on
Deluxe original, where they released this as extra
What
content
the
in the
heck is
DLC, but
this?
it's not from anything else. They just made it.
Yeah, no, I have not played on this track at all yet.
I love
This is
it.
the first time I've seen this.
It's maybe even top 10 for me because there are lots of different paths right around that finish area that can be super exciting to figure out and see which one's best for you.
All right. Well, as we see, We're going straight to the wash right now, trying to get this going out here in this game number 3.
This is what it's like to be small. You have to do all of this. It is a track laid out for you. It's tough. This reminds me of a lot of
cool.
like Mario Party DS, for example, where
Yeah.
the bit is that you're small and you're doing stuff like this.
Yeah.
It's so charming. I love this kind of thing. We're seeing Rexy Delta take an interesting shortcut trying to get through that ring and seeing if they can claw their way back out of last place, especially with the speed item. Osh is holding onto a banana, and this path is sort of the only one that you can take right now on this first lap. A close dodge.
Oh, almost gets the snipe there with the bomb, but then Mushrooms off the stage. Star unfortunately falling a last place, but Osh right now bringing it all the way back in first right now.
That's incredible. And like I said, we're pointing this out that this is not a particularly meta kart combination, but if you're good at driving, you're good at driving.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's the monster tires on the bathroom floor. That's what it is. That counts as off-road.
I cannot confirm or deny if that's off-road, but they're making it look like it.
Yeah. It just genuinely looks like a lot of the sections right now, they could cut these corners a bit like that one right there and not lose a lot of speed.
So this toilet fountain, which is something that I'm saying seriously, is something that you can use to get to this upper pathway.
Not the bidet boost. Oh, no. Osh is going to get hit by a red shell into the sink.
Literally.
Oh, no.
That's so funny.
The bidet boost.
Yeah, I'll remember that one. Throwing a bomb forward, they don't need it. Hitting the rubber duck.
Osh said, nah, I don't like rubber ducks. Get it out of here. Going into this, still holding the lead here on this track.
They're asserting dominance here.
Osh is upsetting everybody right now.
Oh, not having any items left to protect against this red shell, though.
I think
Good
they're fine,
timing
though.
from Rexy.
Birdo right behind. Yoshi also behind.
Even more red shells could easily come their way at any point. So
Osh is very close here.
this is tight.
Oh, no.
Scary
Depending on
stuff.
what
We
items-
see Osh go
oh,
from
the
first
point's
to
unfortunate.
last.
Oh, no.
Will Star be able to close this out using this path? Getting hit with a red shell and yet keeping the protection. Star manages a first place despite Osh being in first for a long time.
Osh had that. It was so unfortunate. Osh had such a good lead there going into that last lap, but unfortunately, this getting itemed out, not having any real defensive items to protect themselves there, losing the banana, unfortunately, on that turn as well.
So you can
and
be
just-
super good at your
Yeah.
lines and cutting corners and
Yeah.
making sure that you have really good lines throughout the course. Doesn't mean anything if
Yeah.
you can't keep your defenses on you, and that's the toughest part about front running, because
Yeah.
otherwise people can grab those powerful items in the back and swoop in.
Yeah, that losing those defensive items there, or even just utilizing those at not the right moment, unfortunately set them back to where they did fall down there into last place. As we go on to one of the best tracks ever made, DS Peach Garden.
Now, what's your opinion on the different third lap when they brought this back for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe? 'Cause
I like it.
think it's kind of cool.
It makes it better, in my opinion.
It's more interesting at least.
It makes it more interesting.
I'm excited to see it. Y'all will see it on the third
and
lap.
final lap.
Keep an eye out. It'll be fun to utilize that castle behind
Yeah.
them a little more. But this is, I agree with you, one of the best tracks to come out of DS.
Yeah.
I'll put it next to Delfino Plaza. I'm a big Delfino Plaza head. I loved it on Wii.
I put it
Or
behind.
Delfino Square. I misspoke.
Yeah, I put it behind Delfino Square and behind Airship Fortress.
Ooh, yeah. Airship Fortress was a big get for Mario Kart World.
True.
But here we're seeing
Oh.
a Chain Chomp get Star in this open courtyard area, which I haven't seen in a long time, honestly. I think I
Oh
memorized
no,
where those guys
Osh not
go.
drifting and getting hit in the wall.
This is seeming like kind of a brutal track. Maybe this could be a situation where it's such a recent addition that some people may be a little less familiar with having played this for, like I said, some of these have been out for 11 years.
Yeah, with DS Peach Gardens in this game, I forget if it got added last year or the year prior, but it is definitely like one of the newer courses that was added throughout the booster course. And as we said, especially on that third lap, even if you played the DS version, you might not be ready for the turns on that third lap change.
Yeah, absolutely. That's somehow that's the way that those little differences can get you if
Yeah.
you're not paying attention to what's going on in this game, and why it's one of the more interesting Mario Karts to come out, because there's so much content, and you
There's
have to
so
know
much
so
content.
much to play these tracks, especially, like I said, the city courses, which no one has picked so far. Unsurprisingly, I wouldn't want to stake my tournament game on a city course.
That's fair. Give us Paris Promenade next. Let's go.
We, again, our bit requests to see if we can get something funny to happen. Now we're entering the third lap, and you're going to see this alternate path that if you recognize it from Wii, will be completely new to you.
Yeah, right here we're going to go around the back side of the castle onto that separate side here behind the starting line, and it looks like Star will close out the race.
There's still a bit of a good ways to go. There's like a longer way around. You're
Oh,
going
I completely
backward.
forgot. I thought they just cut back.
Now, don't commentator curse them.
No, you're right.
Now we'll see if they can hold on to this, because if they can't get first place, I might blame it on you.
Well, nah, I'm still going to blame it on you.
Fair game.
Glide section back over the chain shops. Red Shell tried to bring it into the statue.
I think they were trying to,
They're trying to
hide
fly,
behind that
yeah,
shrub so that the
yeah.
red shell wouldn't get them. That's exciting.
Here we go.
This cut, I think, is actually worth it shroomless if you know how to hop correctly, but it's very difficult to hop correctly.
Yeah.
So I don't blame anyone for just going
Oh,
around. But
big
we have
banana.
some speed items
Alpine
here.
coming back through. Alpine with a boost. Alpine steals it from Star.
Alpine has you to thank for that.
My bad. My bad. That was on me. That was on me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Star. I'm sorry. It's okay, though. Star still won. It's fine. It's fine.
That was the fourth race, wasn't it? We'll find out. We'll see.
Yes,
We'll see in
that
a
was the
mere
fourth
few
race.
moments.
That was
We
the fourth
need
race.
not speculate.
That was the
But
fourth race.
congratulations to Alpine for locking down a victory. Yeah, that was our fourth race. So
Yeah.
congratulations. That was exciting. And
Congratulations
again,
to Alpine there.
we kept an eye out for Alpine, and Alpine
Yeah.
raced really well again. It's just getting harder. We're in round 2. Everyone here has won.
Yeah, no, this has been a pretty interesting race set so far. Alpine, unfortunately, dropping out of that top finish there. It won't be advancing to the third round. But congratulations to Star for advancing, being our first semifinalist, I think.
It's got to be so exciting.
I think I don't think we're close to finals yet.
We'll see how
But
these
at
rounds
least our
shake out.
semifinalists.
But
Yeah.
still, advancing at all, especially against 3 other people that did win, feels good. Like even on these lower, these lower rounds, right? We call it round 2, but it's still like
There's
beat a lot of people to get there. Like there was a pretty big amount of people, about 120 participants, I believe.
114.
114.
114 exactly.
So
yeah.
about 120 is about.
Yeah, that's a lot
I'm not
that's
that
a
far
lot of
off.
people.
That's a pretty good estimation.
That's a good estimation. Good stuff. See, like I said, everything they say.
But we're seeing even more exciting matches because we're seeing people who know good lines, who know good item management, and it's exciting and fun to see how people interact once they start expecting things from each other, as opposed to if you're playing against someone that might be more new to the game or here because they think it'd be like a fun tournament,
Right.
Or maybe someone's like a savant and they don't even know it yet.
No, like
Point
that's
being,
oh man, that's one of the things I was mentioning earlier. We were talking about it. It was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna come here and play the Mario Kart tournament, and then you fight a speedrunner round 2.
there was one about 2, maybe 3 years ago, something like that. I was talking to someone on the side. I was like, yeah, I'm playing this and this. I'm in the tournament. Yeah, it should be pretty fun. I won my first round. He's like, oh, cool. I hold a record for one of the tracks. Or I held a record for one of the tracks. I was like, my bad.
Oh, yeah,
So
I
you never
wasn't
know.
aware of your game. My apologies.
So that kind of stuff can happen, but as you get with those players that have been winning, then you're seeing different item management and different strategies play out because you can expect more targeted moves from them, especially when you're all playing on the same screen. Not to condone it, you can screen peek.
Yeah, you can. Especially if you want to be like, okay, well, what items do they got?
Take a look. Yeah, what's a good time I can send this red shell? You can just look.
Yeah.
I
mean, honestly, it's a skill because you have to be able to do that while maintaining your line.
That's true because this is like a don't text and drive situation because you can see yourself veer off if you're paying attention to someone else for too long. So watch out. Look out for yourself.
You never know.
But if you're really good at it, especially like even the backwards camera is kind of a skill that you can have. The backwards camera is kind of tough if you're especially a new player or someone who doesn't like focus very well like me.
Yeah.
I really struggle with the back camera, and it's so useful, and you really need to be using it at higher level play. But it's tough.
Especially if you want to see like how far people behind you, especially if you have something incoming like a green shell and you see it behind us. Okay, well, let me see what trajectory this is going at so I can see if I need to adjust my line.
Yeah, you can see that kind of stuff happen if you're really good at it, especially with tracks that have long straightaways like a kite bike. You have enough time to see that kind of thing coming and do a little veer.
You got stuff like Mario Circuit, Excite Bike, even DK Jungle Parkway to an extent. Or no, I'm sorry, DK Mountain has some of those longer straightaways, which gives you an opportunity.
That infamous DK Mountain bridge at the end that sways.
Or during the cannon. During the cannon, you can always look back.
You can look back during the cannon. It's also important to keep an eye on your mini-map sometimes because you can take a look at a blue shell that's coming. Maybe you want to stop and let second place pass you so they can take it.
Yep.
It's a valid strategy.
Especially ultimately, too, with just, like, how close some of these races can be. Like, you definitely have to be very careful.
It can come down to the margins.
Yeah.
There are some times where a good play at the right time can more or less win you the race as long as you don't fall off, which happens anyway. You know, or maybe everyone falls off at the same spot.
Maybe.
Maybe you get lucky.
Yeah, everybody just like runs into the same bomb, and then everybody flies off the map.
If you got your lines down, then you got your lines down. So it all comes down to making sure you can keep those. And maybe even placing a banana there to disrupt other people that know those lines if you know how to adjust.
Yeah.
Classic Mario Kart.
But for somebody who's like an inside drifter like you don't have to worry about those lines because everybody's placing on the outside of the map or in front of double item boxes. You're just like, I'm going to just go around here.
I have my own lines, and I love it. I do my own thing.
But then when somebody places a banana peel right by that one turn that you're trying to drift in, you're just like.
there was a placement on the Koopa Cape course, like one of those earlier ones that we did. Or no, maybe it was Waluigi Pinball, but you can do both because the Koopa Cape waterfall goes down. For example, Wario's Gold Mine goes down, and those are periods of time where if you place a banana at just the right time on the way down, then you won't be able to see it until after you've hit it on the way down. But, you know, you have to get kind of lucky that they're in the right spot. So that kind of stuff can be exciting to see people trying out. And that's why I was excitedly keeping an eye on those people. I was like, they're placing bananas in places that I know are good.
Yeah.
So maybe we see even more of that as we go forward, especially because, again, there are so many good items in play, being that there aren't the entire 12. We're seeing like a faster, more rapid example of things that people can get. We're not seeing many piranha plants. We're not seeing many bloopers, like these mid-pack items. I don't think we've even seen a bullet bill yet.
No, we haven't. Not going to lie, a bullet bill would be very funny. Hold it so you get into like second place, and then bullet bill just gets you a little bit extra to get close.
It must be balanced against something like that because that sounds crazy.
Well, I mean, it's a reduced timer still.
True.
It's a reduced timer depending on placement.
There is a concept in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe called bullet extension zones. And this is not like formal. This is something that the pro players have understood, that there are certain points in the track where if you activate your bullet bill, it will go farther than usual because it was just in kind of like an awkward spot or something, and it recognizes that it thinks it's okay to take you a little farther. So real ones know.
It's usually on like spots with like a lot of turns too, like nothing that's on like a pure straightaway where it'll extend it from most cases that I've seen.
But what nerfs this is that once you pass a certain amount of people as well, it's another check to make sure you didn't pass too many people. It might just drop you off as well. So that's the kind of thing that you can think about when you're facing a 12. But with this 4, there's so many speed items. There's so many invincibilities. I saw a Crazy 8 with that Roy on DK Jungle earlier.
I was so
like
surprised.
A Crazy 8 with 4 players.
Yeah, I'm so surprised we saw a Crazy 8. Like, that's probably one of the stronger items that you can get within 4 players outside of, like, the Star or, like, Triple Red Shell.
Yeah.
So, or Golden Mushroom.
We have been seeing some triples as well.
Yeah, we saw Golden Mushroom in one of those earlier tracks, too, which made up a lot of that end game.
So that's the kind of stuff that's exciting to see. Like, this is something that you get from this format that you might not get in other formats.
So it does look like our players are getting ready here. Looks like they're getting set up as we progress into this next match.
I don't think I'm going to cast my spell again. I don't have faith in it.
Alrighty. Looks like we're about to start.
We'll be keeping an eye out for when it shows up.
Alrighty. I wanted to try. But I was just like, you know what? We won't. All right, so we got this
we
next
can't make that our bid.
quarterfinals match going on. We got Pandemi. Or no.
See, we don't have pronunciation sheets for this,
I said Pandemi. It's Panda Emmy.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Tectonics, Melody, and...
That is Nostalgic
Games. Let's go. All right, let's see what they picked here. We see Panda Emmy on the Yoshi.
Be careful. We're kicking off. I'm seeing a baby Luigi, which is hype. A baby Luigi is very funny to see at this point in time.
What cart are they running here? What bike do they have?
Actually, honestly, do not know what that is because I don't think it gets a lot of play.
Is it a scooter? Not the scooter.
Perhaps. It could be something like that. Either way, Daisy Circuit's a pretty fun choice right now.
Yes, Daisy Circuit's a pretty good map overall.
I was happy they brought it back.
Also, we see the first me on stream. We got the first me gamer over in the bottom corner.
I have, like, my family's on this console.
They're playing Fox McCloud. No, it's default me.
That's why I'm saying I'm grateful that they picked the default me out of respect.
It would have been so funny just to see your me on stream as we play.
Dude, I made that me before I transitioned. That would be dire. Either way, we're looking at a lot of item play here. We're seeing fireballs. We're seeing invincibilities. And again, on the bottom right, this is a track that a cart that I hardly ever see. And then we're seeing two meta builds on the left side of the screen. A blue shell takes out Melody, but they're able to hold their position for now because they've been doing really well with front running, just holding onto a coin now. Maybe they can get back up to 10 and continue their lead. Keeping an eye out, Tectonics with the speed items, there aren't too many places to use your speed items in this track. There aren't any particularly crazy grass shortcuts. There's lots of fences and walls, so those might be a little harder to use advantageously aside from the awesome stairs cut.
Right. Yeah, right now, Melody has a pretty solid lead overall right now, holding onto that coin for a very long time right now, and it gets stolen as we get
but
here.
The coin got stolen, and
coin
they
got
still have
stolen.
their protective item, which is exactly what you want to have happen. Melody might be a real one.
It definitely looks like it right now. Nostalgic Gamers coming back here. I don't think they're going to have enough headway to be able to make this back, though, unfortunately. But it looks like they are going to be able to at least secure a solid second place here as
they're racing well. Melody not able to hold on to that upper little brick area, but it doesn't matter. They had such an incredibly strong lead that they were able to hold it down. If you can break away on a track like this, especially without those big shortcuts that I was talking about, then you're in a really, really good position, even if a blue shell gets you like we just saw.
Agreed. Yeah, no, Nostalgic Gamer picking up second place there. Melody in first. I believe it was Panda Emmy. I'm gonna butcher that name for the rest of the day now, and I feel so bad.
It's happened to me.
You know what? I'm just gonna say Emmy.
I get to pass on the torch because my name is Silver King Otter, and I've been called out for as Silver Kin Gotter before, which was very funny to me. So maybe we can give people a story to go home to. Like they called me this and that. These funny guys. What do they know?
That's funny.
We're doing our best.
Emmy able to get third there, and I believe Tectonics got fourth there with the baby Luigi as we go into game number 2 right here, going to Rainbow Road. This is a good one.
Back to this awesome Mario Kart 7 Rainbow Road.
They
must have saw how much fun the past set of people were having on it.
You know what I'm waiting on?
Do even better.
I'm waiting on Mario Kart Wii Rainbow Road, one of the most brutal Rainbow Roads of all time.
It's in this game.
It is in this game.
It's here.
I know that one for a fact. I know that one's in this game. It's not like DS Yoshi Falls, which is not in this game.
We just traded off on who was saying the right thing in that moment. Tectonics is the one holding a lead right now, which is honestly funny to see a baby Luigi in the lead. Not because there's anything wrong with baby Luigi, but because I hardly ever see it, so I'm like amused.
Yeah. No, baby Luigi coming into first here, which is actually pretty solid. Right now, too, with them, they have really good acceleration on the baby Luigi too, so they're able to recover.
They just got hit. They sent their protective item backward, and it did cost them as an offensive item did catch up with them shortly after, maybe as a result of that screen peeking. Shh, tell anyone. You're allowed, maybe.
Yeah, and we see Emmy with the Firefly right here, gets rid of it just to be able to progress here, get another item box. What do we got here?
This is always a kind of difficult part, that like waving section.
Especially if you don't want to drop down to the bottom section. Watch out for those chain shots.
I think you want to stay on it as long as possible. It gets you going forward for longer.
Third section here as we progress here. And maybe Melody gets hit with a red shell.
Keep an eye on Melody because Melody keeps building enough of a lead to get hit by things like red shells.
Yeah.
To the point where it almost doesn't matter. Right now, holding onto a coin, there's nothing to really threaten that on the screen right now unless we see it load in. Tectonics just got that red shell that they're going to want to use and get rid of that green shell for Melody.
Yep. Oh, we have another red shell coming in, and Tectonics is just around the corner. Are they going to be able to bring it back?
Take Melody down.
Are they going to be able to get it up?
Oh, that
and they
came down
can't
to speed.
get there.
And I think that's a situation where the meta build kind of came into play. You can
Yeah.
see
And the
Melody
coins.
kind of, and the coins.
And the
good
coin
point.
differential as
kind
well.
of like take off
Yeah.
when they were right next to each